I still have my orange cup from last
It's all right. That last episode was like
This is not
35 seconds ago. But just to be able to throw content out, we're going to film some back to back. It's just a little hidden secret gym.
Listen, we've had a hard time getting together.
So we got to do multiple ones at once.
Every now and then you're going to see us in like the same outfit for 3 or 4 straight episodes.
Yeah. It's crazy having lives. But hey, welcome back. Hopefully we've gained like 5 million followers by now because we're that freaking awesome.
Well, you gotta introduce yourselves for the people who haven't ever watched this before.
Yeah, so this is Squatch Talk. This is my buddy Yowie. This is Yeti.
Gets me on
Momo.
And that's
Momo in the background.
You guys start laughing when I'm talking. It makes my ADD go, what?
That's because I lock eyes with Momo back there, and she's about to crack. That's why when, like,
Hey,
I
do
know
we
what's
want our
coming up
chairs
in
back,
this.
or are we standing for this one?
Oh, I forgot about the chairs.
Do we want to be comfortable?
It's up to you.
Do you feel short next to me?
No. I'm short all the time.
All right, we're good.
Okay,
What's our
welcome
challenge
to
today?
Our Christmas episode,
What?
Part 2.
Part 2.
part 2.
Dos.
So for our
Crack
first
corn
thing
and I
today,
don't care.
we're gonna do what I like to call the Christmas duel.
We both.
Do we have pool noodles and we're gonna hit each
No,
other? or what?
you don't get to hit each other.
What? That's not fun.
I'm gonna give you guys 2 Christmas movies,
Oh.
and you guys have to pick one.
Okay.
Oh.
Listen. I know what Layla's favorite Christmas movie is. It's an abomination.
Okay.
Should
go
Die
ahead.
Hard?
No.
Die.
Listen. Momo's favorite Christmas movie is Jingle All the Way 2, and it's terrible.
Jingle All the Way 2 is the best
first one
Christmas movie
is
ever.
so much better.
No.
He's like, get out of here.
Okay,
and
no.
then she goes to Larry the Cable Guy, get her done. Like, come on, get out of here. You cannot take Larry the Cable Guy serious. I understand you like how the family comes together. Arnold gets his family back too.
Okay, no,
He
so
becomes
here
Turbo
it is. The reason Jingle All the Way 2 is better than Jingle All the Way 1 is because...
To be honest, I don't know if I've seen. Have I?
Okay, so
Sing
Jingle All the Way...
2?
I'll give you
Yeah, it was
the
that bad.
basic description of what Jingle All the Way is,
We
okay?
ain't got time for this.
No, it'll be really fast. So the dad, it's like the dad forgets about Christmas.
Mhm.
He forgets to buy his kid
He's
a present.
businessman.
Because he's a businessman. He's this
Like
big...
every
it's
other
Arnold,
Christmas movie.
it's Arnold
they forget to buy a
Schwarzenegger.
present
Yes.
Last minute.
It's Arnold Schwarzenegger forgets to buy a present. So then
Turbo
he
Man.
goes trying to find Turbo Man, this action figure, but
Right,
it's been
I've
off the
seen
shelf
that
for
one.
months.
Oh, you've seen that
Yeah,
one?
you've
I've
seen
seen
it.
the
Okay,
first one.
so
Okay, so the
good.
second one is the same thing, but with Larry the Cable Guy.
I don't think I've seen the second one.
Yeah, you know why you haven't seen the second one? Because if you go on Hulu and you look at it next to the first one, like the first one has like 7.2, and this one's like 4.1.
Okay, but the thing is, the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jingle All the Way 1, he's a terrible dad. Like, he's just straight up a terrible dad. And even at the end, when you think he's grown into this better dad, then, at the very end, I'm gonna spoil the movie, it's like, so what did you
haven't
get?
seen it yet, it's fine.
So what did you get me for, since you got such a great present for our son, what did you get me for Christmas? And he's like, oh shoot, I didn't even buy my wife a Christmas present.
Yeah,
So
but that
he's
was
just a terrible guy.
no, that was the joke at the end though. Because like,
Okay, I get it. It was
Yeah.
funny. It was
Yeah.
funny. But he's not a good dad. And the second one, it's like he's a good dad, but he's just under bad circumstances.
listen, where he beats
Hey,
up all the Santa Clauses.
I feel we're giving too much credit to this movie. I'm ready to move on.
No,
Okay,
you should watch it
you should watch
and
it.
then realize
then-
how
Bad it is.
crazy Momo is back then.
Okay, whatever. So I'm gonna give you guys 2 Christmas movies, and you have to pick which one you would rather.
Mhm.
Like if you had to get rid of one of them
Forever.
forever.
I can't watch it again.
Okay, ready? The first one
Okay.
you've got in the right corner, Elf.
Okay.
Okay, and then
There's not gonna be a lot to beat it. So.
in the left we have the Santa Claus.
Oh.
Man, I think she cheated and watched my wife's live because
Did she do the same thing?
we had movie trivia and Santa Claus is like one of my, because that's like my age where I got to kind of get
Yeah.
my own movies, and I just bought that movie and I watched. I probably wore the VHS out.
VHS.
Yeah.
Listen, I understand that, and you can't have Santa Claus 2 or 3 without it.
Right.
But, dude, Elf is so funny to me. I mean, it is. Elf is like the movie like you can watch with your kids, no matter like my son's 11, and he laughs so hard at Elf. Now, if you're like, Caden, you want to watch Santa Claus? He's like, oh, not really. You want to watch Elf? So for that reason, and I get to spend like more time with the kids, I'm gonna pick Elf because they're so close. Will Ferrell's way more funny than Tim Allen.
That's
But my wife would be very upset because she absolutely loves the Santa Claus too.
I'm gonna go no, and the only reason is it's
So you're picking the Santa Claus.
I am, just because if I get bored of it, I get to move on to the other videos.
No, I understand. There's like other options.
There's other options to go with that, and it's kind of a nice little boop, boop, boop.
I think another thing I left as sour taste in my mouth is the new ones.
But if they would have made a second
the TV
Elf,
show.
But like, Will Ferrell was like, oh, there's just no way to top it, so why try and make
Well,
it
he's
a
just
second
old
time?
now. Like, if
Well,
you
even
look
when
at
they
it,
offered,
Yeah.
like, he said
He's
no
just
amount of money, he would do it again just because so much was off script, and
Yeah.
the Santa giving him an apple or whatever
Yes.
was not
In the
like
script.
what in the script. It was some random guy. So I'm like, there's so much. So I mean, that's a hard one.
The Elf is one of my go-to.
No, I know
Christmas
my
movies
wife would
if
hate
I-
me.
But here's the thing, like in the middle of the night, if I was alone, I would pick the Santa Claus. But because the aspect of like watching it with the kids, I would pick Elf, which I know there's some things in Elf that like risque, but it's still like so funny.
Yeah.
Mama, what'd you
Elf
pick?
is a great one.
I would choose Elf.
Yeah.
Because I love the Santa Claus movies the first 5 times I watch them. And like there's just a point where the jokes aren't funny anymore.
And the magic starts to go down, right?
Yeah.
Well, here's the crazy part. I started like getting deep into the thing and watching people's like things. I didn't realize how many hidden elves.
Yeah.
Throughout the whole movie.
Yeah.
Like there's an elf somewhere with Santa.
Always.
Every scene there's an elf with pointy ears. Like a child in the background has pointy ears in every.
Yeah.
So it's like a challenge now. Can I find where's
All the
Waldo ears?
See, Elf doesn't make you have to play a game to enjoy it. You're having to play games and
Well,
continue.
I can tell you if my wife was here,
She's right over there.
She's not here.
I'm allowed to say that.
hers would be Elf. She couldn't live without Elf.
Natasha, Elf. There we go. We give Natasha a nickname. Yeti, Yowie, Momo. We'll figure
Okay.
it out. We'll figure it out because she'll make cameos.
So here we go. We've got
She already did last episode.
We need someone to sing the jingle.
Oh yeah.
It's a Wonderful Life
Mm.
and Miracle on 34th Street.
Mm.
Can I just decline both?
What?
See, I don't
You
like either
heartless
that much
turd.
either.
What?
But I'm not a.
Listen.
Here, I would trade both those in just to keep Santa Claus and Elf.
I'll say they're kind of like an older generation
They are.
movie, but
What?
A Miracle on 34th Street.
That's the one I would
Like
choose.
the little girl's so happy. It has a pretty cool meaning at the end, and I understand like the. So I'll use your example of like Jingle All the Way. Like he was a pretty terrible dude until like everything happened, and then he became good. Like I understand it had like a good ending, but.
But
he was,
yeah,
like, a
it's
bad
like you
husband,
don't
a
root
bad-
for him.
Yeah, like.
Are we back on this jingle all the way?
It's a good movie. Because even Jingle All the Way 1, love
Are
it.
you getting paid?
I love
it
it.
too.
Are you getting paid by somebody to talk
Just
about
Jingle All
this
the Way 2 is better. Okay, next movie. We have in the right corner Home Alone.
Oh gosh.
show? Wait, the original?
The original Home Alone with the face that Dustin is making right now.
Okay.
Okay.
And in the other side, we've got The Grinch with Jim Carrey.
Oh man.
Listen.
Ew.
I'm literally wearing a Grinch hoodie.
Yeah, but that's from the animated one.
That's because you can't find one with Jim Carrey's face on it.
I bet you I could.
I'd be too scared.
Wow. Oh God, Eric, I'm gonna let you go first. I have to think.
I mean, I'm so.
Momo, if you know your answer, you can go because I'm thinking.
I'm such
I
a
would choose
home-
The Grinch, 100%, because
I
Yeah,
own
okay.
both.
So, the thing is, in my family, on Christmas, not on Christmas Eve, on Black Friday, we always have a tradition. Because Thanksgiving is me and my mom's favorite holiday. Okay? We love Thanksgiving. So, we don't let Christmas invade Thanksgiving like some people do, you know?
Yeah, our tree was up like November 6th.
Yeah,
so-
like, we don't let it
There's a
invade.
tree.
the little
So-
thing on your table in there.
So, we don't let it invade. So, on Black Friday, every year, my sister and my mom, they go shopping with, like, my aunts and all them. And me and my dad go to bed and wake up the next day. We get out all the Christmas decorations and we get ready. And when they get home, we turn on the Grinch.
Yeah.
With Jim Carrey. We eat Chinese food.
Yeah.
And we decorate our house for Christmas.
Right now?
Oh, we need to have a Chinese food taste test episode.
Yeah.
All the
You
chickens.
guys just like food.
Rank them.
That's a lot of eating for me, though.
Just one bite. You don't have to eat the 6 bites a piece. You just eat one piece of chicken.
As long as Panda Express is in there.
That's fine.
So for the tradition, it's got to be the Grinch. I do love Home Alone.
So, I grew up on Home Alone. Home Alone 1, here's the thing. I actually don't like Home Alone 1 as much as Home Alone 2, but you can't have 2 without 1.
Wait, you like the second one better?
Yeah, the New York one.
I
You don't like
like
the New York
I
one?
like half of the New York one better.
So here's the first part of the first one's better.
Yeah, and the second part.
all of the like the things he comes up with in the second one are way better. Like guy's electrocuted,
That's
it's
right.
funny. He trips some paint, hilarious.
And
falls
it's
down
and,
the thing.
and it's
Guy sets his hat on.
semi-believable.
Yeah,
The first one are so far-fetched. Like,
the first one's a 6-year-old kid destroying 2 adults. At least he's like 13 in the second one, to where he has like a chance to be that smart.
I'm gonna go back to my answer, and kind of like you, I'm gonna choose the Grinch just because I know my boys will watch it with me and sit down. But like late at night, I'd probably throw Home Alone on, because Jim Carrey's a hard one to pass up.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sane. I like the Grinch, obviously, but my daughter, it's her favorite. She's obsessed with everything. We had to get her a Grinch. Like, she has a Grinch light up doll now. She has a hoodie. Her son has a hoodie. I have a hoodie. So I feel like I don't pick the Grinch while wearing a Grinch hoodie. I'm sending the wrong message.
So hey, Grinch.
But again, for the family thing, I'm gonna go with Grinch.
Okay, these
Home Alone
next
2 is
two
so good.
are, in my opinion, the 2 worst Christmas movies ever made.
Oh, they're probably my favorites.
Okay, they're so stupid that me and my dad can't even sit down and watch them all. We always turn them off because they're just so bad. Okay, so you've got A Christmas Story.
Okay.
And
Kid
Christmas
likes a pole
Vacation.
Out of nowhere.
A Christmas Story and Christmas Vacation.
It's not in the
Hands down.
contest.
Like,
Your dad doesn't like Christmas Vacation.
We got through the first 15 minutes, I swear, and we had to turn it off.
Like,
And we watched
it is
the
a
end
family
before.
The first Christmas movie I ever bought on my iTunes. First one I ever bought.
Yeah,
Christmas Vacation.
So all the National Lampoon movies I love. You don't?
Oh, I love them too. They're just the greatest things apart.
Like, there's something about him as an actor in those movies.
And never the same kids. The Las Vegas one is probably my favorite.
He wins all those cars.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
And they drive home in
definitely
the cars.
Christmas Vacation.
Well, and it's the cars and the fact that Eddie buries his money in the desert. So,
he's just out there digging for so long.
but like, yeah, if I could have the whole out front Eddie hose.
I saw someone have the truck with the car on the back of it.
I know, like, that's my whole thing. Should be like, if I had a parade, it'd be a motorhome decked out like Eddie's, pulling the car with the tree on top. Oh yeah.
Okay, the next one. We got some classics.
I'm ready.
Okay?
Wait,
You've got
classics for
Frosty
her?
the Snowman. No, like little
Like
kids
cartoon.
classics.
Yeah, I got you.
Frosty the Snowman or A Charlie Brown Christmas.
I'm going with Frosty the Snowman because Frosty Snowman always reminds me of one of my favorite movies as a kid, which was Jack Frost. And there's just something about a snowman coming to life that I always thought was the coolest thing ever.
I'm going with Frosty too, because
Now,
Charlie Brown just seems so sad and he can't stand the parents talking.
and that little girl rips the football out every time. She's so mean. That's who my daughter's playing in the dance.
Okay, the very last one. And then
Okay.
we're gonna move on. The Polar Express
So good.
or Fred Claus.
So good.
Fred Claus. Why am I drawing a blank? Is that the-
It's Santa Claus's brother.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty funny. But the Polar Express is super, like...
See, the Polar Express, like, I know so many, not me personally, but I know so many kids who it's given them nightmares.
What?
Like,
Well, here's the thing.
Here's
Like
the-
the first half of the movie, where he's on the train and just bad things keep
But I
happening,
mean,
and then he's on top of the train, and I'm like, this kid is
and it's
dumb.
like a
What are you
hobo.
doing?
But like, you get
Just out of
taken
nowhere.
away in the middle of the night on a black creepy train.
Yeah. And he's just like, See you, Mom and Dad. I'm
And
getting on
there's
this
that like,
train.
isn't that the one where, like, it has the cart with all the creepy things in it?
Yeah. He has to walk through it. And then he's like opening doors and jumping across. I'm like, where are the workers on this train stopping these kids from going
Yeah.
to train car?
And then they get like lost in the middle of the Christmas city, and they're like,
Yeah.
You know,
I could live forever without watching Polar Express ever.
I'm gonna go with Fred Claus.
See, I like the Polar Express.
I love Fred Claus.
And
Fred Claus is just funny. Like that's kind of like a Jim Carrey slapstick.
I have the weirdest reasoning for picking the Polar Express. Casey goes to sleep every night with a movie on. She can't sleep without one. They're all so bright. You know what movie's not bright at all?
Polar Express.
Polar Express. It's so dark, the whole movie. There's like no lights. Just walking through a dark train, dark outside.
Have you seen the
dark
TikTok
top.
where they play the metal music to the train crashing?
Yeah.
Like, who knew?
Yeah, they.
Death metal to
The Polar Express.
Polar Express was so great going across the ice.
No, I would pick Polar Express.
I
I actually like Fred Claus. Though. Surprisingly good movie. If you haven't seen it, it's
Yeah.
not very popular. Surprisingly good.
Okay. Next topic. Sorry, my grandpa just texted me.
Are you texting on the job?
So we're docking her pay.
Well, no, I'm trying to think. He's like, what are you doing? I'm trying to think of how I'm going to explain this. Oh,
You're
now I'm just hanging out
Hey,
with
just
two
send him a
grown
picture.
men.
Just send him a picture. That's all.
I'm just hanging out with two grown men talking about Christmas movies for a bunch of people that we might not even ever know.
Just send a picture.
We might not ever know how are we ever going to meet our fans. All 50 of them right now.
I don't think that's possible.
We have 50
on
fans
podcasts.
currently.
We haven't even posted anything yet, so
Yeah,
I mean.
we haven't even posted a video.
Thank you for following
But
without
by now
knowing
we
us.
have.
Yeah.
They're gonna be confused. This is the first day. If you can't tell.
Okay, so for topic number 3, you have to tell your favorite or your funniest Christmas story.
What? What do you mean?
I gotta think of mine.
Oh my goodness.
So, I don't know if it's funny or not, but it became a funny Christmas thing every year.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to be mean to my family. Not at all. And if any of my family out there is watching, Cousin Jessica, you're going to laugh with me on this. But it's a thing to get Eric a mag flashlight for Christmas and my Cousin Jessica a sweater. An ugly Christmas sweater. So
Wait, she gets an ugly Christmas sweater on Christmas? You gotta
And
wait
I
a whole year to
wait. And I got a mag flashlight. So we're sitting at Christmas at Grandma's.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's opening up these fabulous gifts. All the grandkids.
Yeah.
I mean, car parts, new tires for their Jeep, to, I don't know, just all these wonderful gifts.
Flashlight.
And I open up a flashlight, and I'm like, oh, cool, flashlight. Okay. I mean, it's a nice mag flashlight. I ain't gonna lie. You know, back then, mag flashlights were like $35, $40 bucks. So it was a nice flashlight, but, you know, nice. But
still.
she got a sweater for somehow. I'm like, man. And the whole joke was, what did we do to make Grandma mad?
Yeah. Just you two.
Just us two out of the grandkids. And so from then on, my family made sure for like 10 years in a row or 15
Mag
years in a row,
flashlight.
there was a mag flashlight under the tree for me.
Yeah.
And like, she got a sweater from somebody, somehow. And so like, it was just this ongoing joke. I mean, I don't think, last like maybe 4 years, the only years I have not got a flashlight. And, but I died laughing. I used to have so many flashlights laying around.
My grandma used to get me, and I'm talking about into my early 20s. Into my early 20s, my grandma would get me Christmas socks and a coloring book. And every time I opened it, I was like, thanks, Grandma. Because, like, you know, you can't say, like, nothing. And then she had a stroke. She got in a car wreck, and she had a stroke. But then she still kept getting it for us, right? And every Christmas, then you can't stop her. You can't tell her no. So you're just like, I love you. Thank you for the socks and the coloring book. But every year, I had so many. I literally had a coloring book drawer that just had all these. And it was Christmas coloring books and Christmas socks. But you got them on Christmas Day.
So you got one day to wear them.
Yeah. That's why the Christmas sweater, I'm like, who's going to buy a Christmas sweater for someone on Christmas?
See, so we all do like, I have 7 family Christmases.
Oh, me too.
And so when I go to my grandma's on Christmas night, we actually go to my aunt's, but it's like my grandma's Christmas, and she actually does individual stockings for each of her grandkids plus a present. Like, that's her thing, and we all love her for it. And she does the best gifts. Like, she stuffs the stockings, and then she always gets us matching outfits and all this stuff. But every year she puts the same things in the stocking. She'll put an apple and an orange, 2 apples and 2 oranges.
Yeah.
And everybody in my family hates fruit. Like, all the kids, none of them like fruit. And I love apples. And we have another kid who loves oranges. No, but we trade. So then I leave with, like, a stocking with apples. Like, I'll have, like, 6, 7 apples in my stocking. And, like, my sister will have almond peppermint stuff.
Yeah. That's
and
hilarious.
It's like, the same thing as, like, Easter, where you, like, trade candy so that you get all of your favorite candy.
I can never do that. Because my brothers and sisters are so much older than me. So they were getting, like, not things they would want to trade a little kid. Because my brothers and sisters the closest one to me is 9 years older.
Dang.
Yeah. So by the time I was, like, 7, she's 16. My other brother's 18. And then everybody else is married. So there was no, like, trading. There was no, like, hey.
Were you a planned child?
No. I was what's called an accident.
Happy little accidents.
Yeah. Oh, so I guess I could tell my favorite Christmas memories. It's pretty much every year.
Favorite memory or the funniest?
I said favorite or
She
funniest.
said favorite or funniest. She didn't listen to the producer.
She's slacker.
You're the slacker.
Yours was good though. Mag flashlight, Christmas one, that's pretty funny. Especially when everyone else is getting nice gifts.
I mean,
At least my grandma gave everybody socks.
So the funny part was like everybody was getting anywhere between like $90 to $300 gifts.
You got a flashlight.
And 2 of us got a flashlight and a sweater.
Yeah.
So like $25, $30 gifts.
Like your grandma was clear. Like if they'd been like, "Who's your least 2 favorite?"
We did find out later in life it wasn't quite grandma that went out shopping for her. She had somebody do it for her.
And they were like, "Eric doesn't need anything else."
And apparently they didn't know how to shop for me and my cousin Jessica. So
See, so my funniest Christmas gift I've ever gotten was my dad. Okay, so they have given me the nickname Frito Feet. Like when I went to camp and stuff.
Frito feet.
Because my feet do not smell very good. Okay?
Oh.
Yeah. You ever open a bag of Fritos? It smells like stinky feet for a second.
So they always. He's gonna go get a bag of Fritos. Yeah, I'll just join you up here for a second.
Yeah, come on and tell your story. Frito
Well,
feet.
I'll take his spot, but I'm not gonna wait for it. So basically.
Did you have Fritos?
Got Fritos. So basically.
Do you know what's there? Stinky feet.
I think Doritos.
No, it's Fritos. You think Doritos stink when you open them?
So my feet don't smell very good. So my dad, one year for Christmas, my dad doesn't get people gifts whenever, like, our parents get us gifts. It's always my mom.
Right.
Who gets all the gifts, and then my dad just puts his name on it, too. My dad gave me a gift especially just from him. And my mom made sure that I knew it was just from him.
Yeah. I wonder why.
And I opened it, and it's a book. And I was like, why is he getting me a book? I don't read.
I found it too, by the way.
And I look at it, and it was, why do feet smell? And then I turn it over, and behind it was a can of foot spray for stinky feet.
That sounds like your dad.
And every year I go to open a present, and he's always like, "Oh, it's more foot spray." And it never is, but yeah, that's my worst Christmas gift.
I love that she's called herself Frito Feet.
No, I didn't call me that. Natasha also
I just
said
got a
it.
new name.
Yeah. Caden, my son, he shows no emotion when he's getting gifts. So, which is weird because he's a very expressive kid. But for some reason, whenever he gets gifts, he's always like, "Thanks." And then that's it. Like, no matter how extravagant it is. So we got him a 4-wheeler. And I'm like, "Hey, Caden, this is your Christmas gift. I'm going to go get it out of the garage." And I come driving around, and he's like, "4-wheeler." And I was like, as a dad, I was like so defeated. And then he just played on all day. So I know he loved it. But so every year, I have to go to everybody that he's going to open a gift from. And I'm like, "Hey, if it's a new person, I'm just like, hey, just let you know, Caden probably not going to be real expressive. If he says thank you and he likes it, he does. It's just how he's going to express it. And it's so weird because everything else, he's like over the top acting.
Yeah.
When it comes to getting gifts. So I told him about it one year. So the funny memory is like last year for Christmas, every gift, he was like, thank you. And it would be like underwear. And I'm like, Kaden. He's like, I'm trying to be more excited.
I'm trying, Dad.
But he's just a funny kid. So it makes me laugh as a dad.
So, did we have a good time today?
Yeah, it was fun.
Okay.
Merry Christmas to all.
This room's
and to
really
all
bright.
Good
Why
whenever you're...
you gotta judge my bright room?
Listen, I understand the needs for a bright room, but I'm just gonna have to bring some sunglasses next time.
I don't feel it's that bright. Do you guys think it's that bright in here, or is it clear?
If they saw the 7 different lights that are on right now.
All right, hold on. Let's count. We're gonna count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
And we unplugged 11, so they look at me closer to them.
Yeah.
So there's 4 8-footers, 4 4-footers, and 2 2-footers mounted in this room.
You share the space with your wife, who you want to be very
Yeah.
successful.
So if
That's
anybody
the sweet of you.
recognizes it, there's other things that happen here more important than our podcast.
We're just dorks
Plug.
like to have fun.
But we needed a space.
Cactus Creek!
Cactus Creek.
This whole episode's been sponsored by Cactus
Follow
Creek.
her on TikTok
Lady
so she can have more followers than us.
Yep.
But hey, thanks for coming out
We
and
only have
joining
15,
us.
so...
If you stayed to the very end, I wish I had a gift I could give you, but all it is bye.
Boop.